Hi, my name's Haley and welcome to my channel. This will be my very first video that I've posted to Booktube, so I'm hoping to get into the Booktube Newbie Tag really soon. But first I just wanted to talk a little bit about myself for a minute, just so you guys can get to know me a little bit better. I'm from California. I'm from a city called Sacramento, and for the past 3 years I've lived in England. My husband is English, so we moved here after I got married. Currently, I'm a librarian at the British Museum, but I'm on contract, and that contract is ending very soon. So sadly, I won't be working there for much longer, and I'm also currently in the process of finding another job. So that's lots of fun. Let's get into the tag. The first question, why did you start this channel? I have always been interested in Booktube. I've always watched videos. I recently just started a YouTube account so that I could comment on videos, because I started finding people that were actually interested in the things I'm interested in. I like listening to people talk about books regardless of what the book is. But then I started finding these channels of people who were talking about books that I'd read or subjects that I find really interesting or genres. And I really wanted to connect and talk with them. So I made a YouTube account to do that. But then I started thinking, why not make some of my own videos? I have a lot to say about the books I read. I have a lot to say about books in general, so why not? So this will be my first foray, I guess, into the YouTube/Booktube world. Number 2, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to YouTube? This is such a difficult question to answer because I'm not entirely sure. I like to think that I could be a part of like the kind of niche parts of Booktube, you know, the people that don't read all of the most popular books, which I do read a lot of popular books, but I also read a lot of eclectic and underrated books as well, and I really enjoy learning about things that aren't necessarily mainstream, or reading about things that aren't necessarily mainstream. So I think that I could bring more of that to Booktube. I know there's already people that do that, but I would like to add to that also. Number 3, what are you most excited about for your channel? I think I'm most excited just to meet new people. Having moved from my home state to England, I kind of have spent a large part of the last 3 years not having a solid social group. I have made friends here, and I do know a lot of great people here, and so this is nothing against them, but just I kind of miss that communal feeling I get when I'm at home. So I would love to just meet new people and talk to people that enjoy the same things I do, and, you know, just make friends. Number 4, why do you love reading? This one's also hard to answer. I love reading for a variety of reasons. I love learning about things. I'm very curious about the world around me. I'm always listening to a podcast, watching a documentary, reading a book about something I don't know, because I love learning new things. I also love it because it's kind of an escape. I love reading about different lives, different worlds, and just kind of having something that allows me to kind of pause the real world and go off and explore and learn something new. Moving on. Question number 5, what book series got you into reading? I'm not entirely sure. It was a particular book series. I've always been a reader. My mom really pushed reading when I was growing up. But the first book series I can remember reading were The Babysitter's Club, Redwall, which I still really enjoy, and I actually just reread a few last year. Harry Potter, definitely, but that came out a bit later in my life. I loved the Bailey School Kids. I never see those anymore. I loved Goosebumps. All those like kind of short chapter book series. I was really into those growing up. Those are the first series that I remember really being into. Okay, question number 6. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? I'm mostly interested in the logistics of Booktube, how people find the time to film videos, read books, do all that they do. I feel like there are some booktubers that are just like superheroes when it comes to this. I just don't understand it. I am very much a mood reader, so sometimes I don't read for days, sometimes that's all I do. So I would really just be interested in how people not necessarily find the time, but how they organize their time in order to create their Booktube channel. I'm very interested in that. Okay, question number 7. What challenges will be the hardest with Booktube? For me, definitely it's going to be time and consistency. I try to be a very consistent person, and I am for the most part, but sometimes I really struggle with it. I do think that having a booktube channel might actually make me more consistent than I already am. So that's something I'm really looking forward to. But I definitely think that is going to be a challenge for me, but I'm hoping to surpass it. Question number 8. When did you start reading? I honestly could not tell you. I have very, very, very fond memories of my mom reading to me and my little brother, and she would always read chapter books to us. The very first one I remember her reading to us was Where the Red Fern Grows and The Hobbit. She read all kinds of stories to us, and we were definitely too young to read them. So I feel like I've always had that foundation of reading in my life, and it's never wavered. I've never not been a reader. Question number 9. Where do you read? Okay. Well, before COVID happened, I was a commuter. I commuted from my town into London every day, so I read a lot on public transportation. It was the best thing for my reading life in terms of like time. I also read in bed, I read on the couch, I read on my balcony, I read at coffee shops, I read at the park. I really love reading in different places, and I don't have a specific spot where I can read in. Just wherever I feel comfortable, I'm okay with reading. When I was younger, I used to walk to school and read a book at the same time. I used to kind of skip recess to read a book while eating a bowl of cereal in the morning. So I really am very much that kind of person that's whenever, wherever I can fit it in, I will be reading. Number 10, what kind of books do you like to read? This is probably my favorite question because I like so many different kinds of books, but it also fluctuates a lot. So at the moment, I read a lot of nonfiction and I read a lot of romance. I'm not quite sure where the romance came from. I used to be not that big of a romance reader, but then all of a sudden it kind of swooped in, and now it's like the past 4 books I've read have been romance books. But yeah, I really enjoy those too. I also really enjoy adult fantasy. I love those like big chunky books set in a different world. I love that. I love literary fiction. But I'm also hoping to kind of broaden my horizons a little bit, give recommendations, and kind of grow my reading life more. So that was the end of the questions. I'm going to cut the video very soon just because I don't want to be talking about myself for that long. I do have a vlog coming out very soon that I attempted to film and put together, but I'm also hoping to have an August wrap-up and September TBR videos coming out. So hopefully I can kind of ease myself into this world. If there's any suggestions or anything you want to share or comment on, anything like that, please do. I would love to hear from anybody who's watching this. So yeah, thank you.